the illegal graffiti action that we see happening so much and is so prevalent throughout our city. I'll say recently I hosted many city attorneys from across the country to our beautiful city. They had not been here before, and several of their locations I've been at, and they do not have the same battle that we have in regards to graffiti. So despite there being large metropolitan areas, we have this significant problem that we seem to be able to need to get under control as we help to support our small businesses and our property owners and the good stewardship of tax dollars, because we have to expend a lot of them in the cleanup of this. So what I'm bringing to you is a civil strategy whereby we can supplement the criminal prosecution piece if those we find that the evidence is difficult to proceed on from a criminal process. What can we do from a civil process that would also be a deterrent to say people need to comply with our law and not destroy other people's property? So what I'm bringing about today is about that, because in the city of Seattle, it costs us as a city and the state of Washington, all of which is taxpayer dollars, millions of dollars to clean up, in addition to property owners. A lot of our police officers know the taggers because we have seen them through social media. They use this to promote themselves and their work. And I have no interest in giving them any airtime, so I'm not going to talk about them personally. I think that we do not want to encourage action that we don't want, so we don't going to give them more airtime and attention. But we do see their actions. A lot of police do know who they are. We're looking at how can we be instrumental with that information and do things. Here, I've given you some information about the number of times that we do have graffiti incidents, over 28,000 just in 2024 alone, but only 35 of those were sent to my office for referral for potential prosecution. So that is really a incredibly and significantly small number that they have enough evidence that they think that they can send that over to my office, and then we look at that. Again, though, our city is spending $6 million, as Councilmember Rankin just talked about, being a good steward of our resources and future investments and things that you all want to appropriate for. I would guess that this is not money that you would like to spend in this capacity, but it would be easier if people would just simply comply with the law and not damage other people's properties, and you can use those dollars for betterment of other items.
So I have to say, I have been looking forward to casting a hell yes vote on this legislation ever since you told me about this, which was a long time ago. And because I think of this as graffiti prevention, and it's extremely important. I have to say that I care less about the $6 million that graffiti vandalism removal costs the city, and much more about the time, effort, and cost to small businesses to remove it, because that is the law. And as a small business owner, I know that it takes a long time. One single tag, over and over and over again, very frustrating. And I will have you know that also graffiti is the single most common complaint in my inbox. Again, I'm a citywide council member, and so that's a lot of complaints about graffiti. So this will be extremely welcome. So I just applaud and thank you so much, City Attorney Davison, for providing us with a tool to deter graffiti vandalism, which is so important. And it also seems to be through a civil infraction, which seems, I'm kind of cluing into a pattern. It seems to be an approach that you've taken or that you're specializing in. And it really does, it matters because there has to be something that makes people think twice, that, you know, the likelihood of having to pay. I mean, how many of us don't speed because of the ticket they might get?